Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Sakurasou no Pet na Kanojo. It is episode 23, and as always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses, dot pods as real dots, and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. To those that came back, welcome back. Now, let's talk. As I already said, two things, really good episode, and number two, quite a lot of sugar on it, right? Honey coated until it drops down. So, I already mentioned it when I started the reaction that it feels to me like from this point on forward, it is all like going well. It should be. It feels like this series is going towards a happy ending. And seeing the title of episode 24, I'm pretty sure it is. Because it feels, by being called Welcome to Sakurasou, like it will be the opening up and the invitation to Sakurasou, possibly the arriving of the newcomers that Misaki talked about in the end with Kanda. So, I'm kind of hopeful. Let's see. Well, what to say about this episode? We had Cherry Blossoms in, which was an idea of Rita, which I really like. So she on her side is fighting for the Sakurasou as well. We had every member of the Sakurasou at this place. Everyone fighting in his very own way or being around in his own very own way. Even Dragon, who wanted to stay outside, but in the end he came in, just saying. And there was quite a bit of emotion from him as well, as we've seen. But the big thing, no questions asked, is the speech that Misaki gave. So before that we had a little moment with Don't Walk While It's Red, which I really like because it shows a little bit how the characters are again, even in the end. So there are things you know Aoyama will stop at the red traffic light, and will everyone make stop. She would have talked against the speech, because you don't do that, right? So stuff like that is known. Kanda is always the one that is the reason that something goes down, so they get mad because of him. Even if it wasn't of him, because of him, totally. And so on and so forth. Everyone is, unique in their very own way, but they are kind of a family. So, this speech, I like especially the reaction from the teachers, because, how to say it, it shows you that the writers thought about something. I mean, the teacher council is kind of like the enemy here. They made this decision to tear down the Sakurasou, and thus their reaction, I think, is important. And you could see they are not one group completely. There are differences between them. You have, I think it was the principal, the director, the big burly one, and you have some who are more like his hands, to call so, those who will carry out his orders. The guy with the black hair, especially, who looks a bit like a sports teacher, I think. Might be. He seemed very physical, at least. Then you have someone who's more intimidated in the background and shaking all the time, the old guy. But you had the female at the right side sitting all the time, who was very supportive with whatever Misaki said and did, who's more emotional, who's more possibly caring, I can only guess. So it's nice to see that there are those differences. However, I liked the first initial reaction when it was announced that Misaki is making a speech, and you could see the reactions in most of the teachers' faces and in their gestures was like, oh no, oh not her, oh my goodness, it's all going down now. Which is kind of true. And then she gave a really nice beginning of the speech, where I guess she kept the speech that got prepared from the president, seeing later on that the speech was not read by the director, by the principal, which, by the way, is a sad thing, seriously, right? But it tells you something about him. You may guess that the beginning of the speech is normal and good, so that he would stop reading and just say, yeah, it looks fine, and not continue till later on. So that was a very clever move of doing it. So they knew that the principal would be too busy or too lazy to really care about this speech. And in the end of this episode, that is what I think Dragon said. They showed to everyone that at least some of the teachers do not really care, and are not, as it seems, not really working with, but sometimes even against the students, which is a sad thing. So not caring, thus not reading the speech, and going against them by meaning they don't care if you want something. If they want another thing, then they will just bully over you. And there was physical evidence of that after this speech. The moment that the principal shouted to stop Misaki, to stop Kanda, to take them away, right? This is, apart from just the visual that you see teacher against student, it is just wrong. It is, you know, older and stronger persons against weaker ones. So there are multiple layers in there that are, on the one hand, just when it comes to the law, possibly a problem. Seriously, if a teacher is attacking a student, that might cause a lot of problems, just saying. But apart from that, it was a clear sign to all of the other students. There is one of ours. Whatever you may think of Misaki and Sakurasou, but she stood up for her rights, for what she loves. She was emotional, possibly took you on the boat, right? And then they get attacked by, you know, the grim teacher of destruction who's just all the years over such a nagging, negative guy. Just stating that, right? So there was a good chance they would side with them before, but that possibly pushed it already over. So it may very well be that the principal kind of gave the win to Sakurasou without wanting it, by reacting without thinking. If he would, after the speech, instead have taken the microphone, there it is. Okay, sorry, I was stuck for a moment. Would have taken the microphone and said, thank you for your speech. It was very heartfelt. We all felt that. I know how much you love your friends, and you know, yada yada. And then goes, we will check again on the decision. But as we all know, and then just, you know, load it down. And he could have made a speech himself and just said, like, we will check it again, and that's it. He could have calmed that down, but he didn't. He made a mistake, simply. So, but however, back to the speech. There was a lot of stuff in it. First of all, I really liked the idea of using this speech to kind of rephrase the whole series, what we have seen. The time in the Sakurasou, mainly out of the viewpoint of Misaki and out of Kanda, because he thought about his moments when she talked about it. And in the end, we had a short moment of Mashiru, thinking about her time. So it was good. It was clear that she kind of had a dream there, Misaki, and I like it that it happened, that it worked. They even got their homeroom teacher back in the mix, which was nice, because I know why she did not appear very much in the last episodes, but it felt kind of sad to me that she was so outside, you know? She was so not present at all. But they got her in now in this episode. Sure, it is mainly about the kids, but she was an important person as well. So now she's back in, I like that. The hot pot parties, sure, a taste of happiness. There are many good quotes in this, feel-good quotes. And in the end, the decision of the people throwing the cherry blossoms in the air, very, you know, you could see it, and it feels a little bit like this tradition of students of throwing their hats in the air, stuff like that. So I think it is why they did it. The interesting thing now will be for the next episode. I mean, they have to stand outside now. I do see that. There is possibly a discussion inside from the other teachers. What to do now. I mean, simply put, I don't think they really have much of a choice, but we will see. I think next time it will be Sakurasou is still existing. The question is how long. We heard 5 years at the max, because it has to be taken down. I think there's still the option of putting some money into your hands and renovating this old building, but I guess it is a lot of money and they don't want to. But next episode, I think it will be the new ones, the juniors arriving, and those that are still left, kind of inviting them back, welcoming them back, and kind of showing them, you may know crazy, but you don't know Sakurasou yet. So that will be a nice moment, I think. And it is kind of like a beginning of something new. Which brings me to graduation ceremonies and new people coming along. So Akasaku kind of put it already by saying, I don't like those graduation ceremonies, always, you know, tearjerkers. It is a weird thing, because if it is your graduation ceremony, it normally is an important thing for you. Even if you do not really care much about stuff like that, it is at least an important day for your life, because you have a change from one thing to another, from school to work life, from one school to the other, something like that, right? So it is at least that. If you are an emotional person, or you had really many friends there and a good time there, then it will be very, very emotional. And this is a major day for you. Which is why people who like you come along and sit along with you and enjoy it with you. But for others who are not there yet, so maybe your juniors, right? Or for those who have been there way too much already, like teachers and stuff like that, it may be very, very boring. Because it is this, let's just face it, you're a teacher who is working since 20 years, you have seen 20 years of graduation ceremonies, and there is a moment when it will all repeat. And you will say, okay, and now we have the speech, and they are talking about how good it was here, and they are looking to the future. They will never forget their friends. We will have a class reunion in 5 years, and no one will remember anyone. You know, negative viewpoint. So this is this weird mix of persons in the room and of emotions in the room. Those who are really happy to be there and are in the moment, and those who are just like, just let it be over. I want to go home and watch I don't know what, right? I've been through my fair share of graduation ceremonies myself, so I know that as well, both sides. I think it is, for those who have been in there before, it is more about the viewpoint to learn. It is not about me, as hard as it is about this person. You know, your cousin, when you're there for your cousin. It is about your cousin, so you don't have to really watch so much of the ceremony. Watch your cousin. Watch the person you are there for, and see the joy that they experience. See what it means to them. Because that is what it is about. And that may bring you a bit more in. So yeah, it's a weird thing, because we realize we are not alone in the world. That's it from me this time. I liked it a lot. I hope you did as well. And as always, if you want to see more of it, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. There will be one more episode of Sakurasou, and after that I will see. That's it from me this time. Until the next time, my name is Relax and Panic. Bye and out.